friends, this is Yvette of Yvette Creates, and I'm a part of the Not Too Shabby Shop design team. Today I'm going to make a few cards using this beautiful stamp set, and it's the self-care stamp set, as well as this paper pad, the beautiful unique paper pad. Now the paper pad is part of the May Paper Pad Club, and the stamp set is an add-on, so you can add this onto your paper pad club. So let's get started. Now I have gone ahead and chosen the papers that I'm going to use from this paper pad. So let me show you which ones those are. These are the 4 pattern papers I'm going to use. Or rather, these are 4 of the 5 I'm using. I made a sample card just to make sure it turned out the way I wanted. And I'll show that to you right now. So this paper I already cut up to how I need it, and I used actually 2 of this one. So I used one for all the beautiful little ephemera images, and I fussy cut those out, so I have those ready to go. And then I used the second one of the same pattern paper for one of the layers in the sketch I'm using. So in case I haven't mentioned, I am using the May 2025 Sheetload of Cards sketch. So let me show you the sample card I made. There it is. So here's one of the other pattern papers I used. And then here you'll see in the background, this layer was from this pattern paper. And I think it turned out really beautifully. Now, the Sheetload for May is actually meant to be used with 12 by 12 papers, but I made it work using our 6 by 6 papers, and I'm going to show you how I cut them to make it work. Now, I'm not making a full sheetload. I'm making half a sheetload, friends, but let me show you. So when you get the sheetload, it does tell you all the supplies you'll need and how many cards it yields and everything. But it also shares the dimensions in case you just want to make one card. So I used the dimensions here to cut my 6 by 6 pattern paper. So let me show you how I make my cuts with a 6 by 6 piece of pattern paper. So I'm cutting the first one down to 5.5, and we'll save that strip. Then I'm going to rotate it and cut it to 3.5. And this is my larger piece that I'm going to use. Now with this piece that's left, I'm going to rotate it back this way and cut it down to 4 inches. So that makes this piece over here 1.5, which I will need. So this one that's now 1.5, I'm going to cut to 2.25. So we're going to have this little strip left over there. Then with this the other piece that's at 4, yeah, it's at 4 by 2.5. I'm going to cut 3 half-inch strips. So I'm going to cut this, go back down to 2, then to 1.5, then to 1. And then I'll save this. So these are the pieces that are left over when we use the 6 by 6 pattern paper. And I'll use this larger piece for the inside of my card. So really, this is all I have left of scraps, which isn't bad really. So let me finish cutting my other pattern papers and I'll be right back. Alrighty friends, I have my pattern papers all cut. So my next step is getting all my mat layers cut, and I've gone ahead and done that off camera. So these strips will be laying on a mat layer, and what I've decided to do was use vellum for my mat layer. So on that one I'm using a pink vellum, and then on these 2 I'm using, it kind of is a blue tealy vellum. Alrighty, so then these 3 pieces are the frontmost layer where we place our other piece of pattern paper, and let me grab that from here. So this piece will actually sit on this pattern paper. However, I could not cut these pieces to the dimensions called for other than using 2 pieces, but I just wanted to be able to use 1 piece of pattern paper because this was the paper with the ephemera cutouts on the back. So what I did was, instead of cutting it to 2 1/4 by 3 1/2, I cut it to 2 1/4 by 3. And then what I'll do is simply stretch my paper. And by that, I mean I'm gonna trim it here and then pull it down, and this will cover it, so you will not even know the difference. Now, behind that matte layer, let me put those there, will be some other cardstock that I brought in, and I thought I would bring in some glitter cardstock. So for this one, see, this will sit on there, and when I cut it, I'll bring it down so it reaches all the way to the bottom. So that will go on that one, and I got some blue glitter cardstock on those. And then, although this larger piece does not call for a matte layer, I thought it would be nice to add one. So I cut some cardstock I had in my stash to kind of go with these, and so I'll add matte layers behind those. I do have my pieces of ephemera here ready to go. I did fussy cut them, and there were enough ephemera on there that I'll have 1 piece in the front, and then I have pieces left for the inside of the cards too. So I think I'll put this one on the inside of that on the inside of that, and that on the inside of that. Alrighty, so now it's just time to put our cards together. So what I like to do is have all my bits and pieces together with the card base, so I know I have everything I need. And then we can start putting our cards together. So let's do that. Alrighty friends, here are the 4 completed cards using the May 2025 Sheetload of Card Sketch, as well as the beautifully unique patterned paper and the self-care stamp set. I hope I was able to provide you with just a little bit of inspiration today, and I do appreciate you. Remember, you are enough, and self-care is not selfish. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.